May 28th, 2023. Dear Tony, I found my comedic story. Aside from becoming the world's greatest comedian, I'm declaring or identifying myself as the first born-again autistic, both person and comedian. There are no special pronouns or changes to any language required for BAA. I searched Google, Tony, but no one is using this term. I believe I'm the first, but I suspect others will follow. Maybe this is a way to build my cult? A shitload of BAAs? This is my definition of BAA. BAA is defined by anyone born with autism, but was forced to live part or all of their life as normal, until they rebelled against the system, their families, or whatever held them back from expressing and understanding their autism and purpose in life, and broke free. The individual was born again, so to speak, but without the help of God, religion, the medical community, or nearly anyone else. The short version: BAA is any individual born with autism, not diagnosed, raised as normal, and then later is diagnosed with autism. I'm not an egomaniac, Tony, but I do hope the term BAA catches on. I would like to have coined at least one term in my life. It's simple, to the point, and no one has to try and remember the constant changing acronyms of the gay community. I love the work they've done for human rights, but I can't keep up with the acronyms. I'm not even sure if people in their own community know what the most recent version is. It's flexible too, like LGBTQ ... It can expand indefinitely, except I suggest for the sake of clarity, anything after BAA also be NA. For example, I identify as BAAAA. At least two A's are always the same, again autistic. The remainder A's could be anything I feel that describes me the best. In my case, BAAAA stands for born again, arrogant, autistic asshole. I don't suspect any pushback from other BAAs. If they are truly autistic, they can find an A word to further describe themselves or their condition. It's in their best interest to find a quick way to describe their version of autism anyway, and my system allows each person to quickly let others know who they are dealing with. My long version would be born again, angry, autistic, arrogant, annoying, amorous asshole. But I wouldn't expect or demand anyone remember anything other than born again autistic. Today, Tony, autism is pretty much accepted. Not many parents are trying to force it out of their children. In the 60s and 70s, the term was known, but not mainstream. Your average family doctor wouldn't know the difference between a slow kid, an odd kid, or an autistic kid. All would present the same. I wasn't slow. I was an excellent student the first few years of school, but I did have a speech impediment for a while and labeled shy. I was autistic, of course, but no one recognized it. Not even the educated teachers, who maybe should have known. Was there not a single teacher interested in psychology in the 70s? I am ADHD as well. Not a single teacher noticed my inability to sit still or pay attention. Apparently not. It took me 40 or more years before I could match the frustrations in my life to this new condition called autism all over the news in the 90s. Like others, I slipped through the cracks. Had it been Down syndrome or some other physical condition and autistic, maybe I would have been treated and noticed as someone requiring special needs. I wasn't deformed. In fact, I was a spectacularly good-looking child. I was breaking hearts with my blue eyes and blonde hair before I knew what a heart was. I wish that was a joke, Tony, but it's the truth. I have photos to prove it. Anyway, my condition was never diagnosed. I was raised normal, forced to be normal, but never felt normal. Sorry for the biography. I'm working on how to condense my past history into one or two sentences to introduce myself on stage. Something like, I'm an autistic senior. I was autistic before the word was invented, which isn't true, but I was autistic when we were called retards to our faces in public. True, but more sad than funny. I was born in the mid-60s. Anyone on the autism spectrum in that decade had two paths: a mental home or remain in the family home and outgrow it. My family kept me home, raised me as normal, and I think at one point they thought I outgrew it. I didn't. I only hit it deeper. I call myself born again autistic because I was born with it, lived most of my life pretending I was normal, and then once I realized others were also different and are now being accepted in society, I said fuck it and went full autistic. Now life is great. I've been diagnosed with autism, ADHD, and a shitload of other conditions, and I take full advantage of all of them. And then Tony, I would launch into some of the take advantage of autism jokes I mentioned in earlier letters. I'm beginning to see the difficulty in comedy, Tony. I believe in your philosophy that an honest, heartfelt comedian can make a greater connection to the audience, sharing an experience greater than laughter. Yet I struggle to see the humor in my past. I know it's there, waiting to be shared, but how, when... I know it's there, waiting to be shared, but how, when I would rather forget it. I'm not giving up, though. If anything, I'm more determined than ever. Thanks for listening. David.